Hello and welcome to Literary Gladiators, the show where we discuss and debate literature in all of its forms. If it's written work, it's game.
Yeah, I see some game right over there, man. Oh, sorry. Hi, Ron.
Let's meet the panel.
Lily.
Kelsey.
Charlie.
And Josh. Charlie, Lily, welcome back.
Thank you
Kelsey,
very
welcome
much.
to our
Thank you.
panel.
Welcome.
Kelsey
How do you like
is
it over
one
here?
of my very intelligent friends. She's a tutor and a librarian, and those kind of people, they love literature. So
Yes, we accept her. One of us, gobble, 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 gobble.
great to have you on.
Tell me you've
Thank
seen
you.
that.
What are we going over today, Laney?
Today we will be discussing Shakespeare's sonnets.
Yay!
Isn't that your cup of tea, Lily?
It is indeed. Well, a few in particular, but we'll get
Alright.
to that.
Already, what's our first question?
Being perhaps the most notable playwright of all time, do you think or feel Shakespeare's sonnets hold a place in literature?
Yes.
I'm actually going to make a bold statement that may shake up the group of literary enthusiasts. I like his sonnets, and I think that they capture him better than his plays do.
I was gonna say you like the poems more than the plays. I remember you saying that.
That, granted, I think that what makes his plays so magical is that he's very good with words. The plot, on the other hand, if you are a Shakespeare historian, you'll realize that he has borrowed so many of his plots.
Isn't it true he plagiarized? Or, not, like, he didn't borrow, he, took...
Well,
I was actually-
was rampant in Elizabethan theater.
Yeah, it was actually not even illegal to plagiarize until decades after he had already done it.
Then you had all the copyright laws and all that.
Anything before 1923 is public domain.
I
So
see.
nowadays it's much more of a it's like walking on fire, but
Oh, that would hurt.
yes.
And there's pastiches where you can just take excerpts from different things. Think House of Leaves.
Yeah, I've
You?
yeah, the advisor for the literature club I ran brought that up quite often. I was reading that at the time.
Such a good book. It really, really is. We should do that on it.
But
Anyway, liking the poems more than the plays. Well, the sonnets have a plot too, arguably. You have our speaker, and he's in this relationship with the dark lady and the man, and however that's playing out.
The poems in general they can be bound to have plots. It all depends on who is behind it, driving it.
Driving.
That's what I understand.
I think asking if, like, the sonnets hold a place in literature is like asking if, if somebody writes plays, should they only be known for their plays? Should they only be allowed to write plays? It's kind of a ridiculous question in itself because, it's just, we shouldn't ignore one part of something somebody's done just because they are so much more known for the other ones.
That's like saying Dickinson's letters aren't lit.
But then
Yeah.
again,
And
if
it's
if you say Shakespeare, the first thing people will say are plays.
Yeah. And what?
Sonnets,
I don't
once
think
you
so. I think we're taught them simultaneously in school. I don't think that we're barred from either, really. I think I know the sonnets just as well as I know the plays.
Although something I've noticed is they do tend to stray away from comedy in the high schools.
Definitely.
I know.
they usually concentrate on the same works: Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, Macbeth.
Beth, Othello,
Yeah.
Julius Caesar.
Julius Caesar.
Oh, I love Caesar salad.
Me too.
It's when you get to the college level that you will, for instance, when we took a Shakespeare's plays class, we concentrated on his later romantic plays, but we really didn't touch up on his sonnets.
I took Shakespeare 260 or English 260.
Yes, you
I
did.
took that a while ago, and we focused on Othello, Hamlet, and we did Taming of the Shrew. We did 5 of them. The Tempest. And I forgot what the other one was.
Oh, Taming of the Shrew is fun.
Yeah, that's
Our
a comedy.
super dainty Kates. For dainties are all Kates.
Already.
That was a good
Should we
one.
go to our next question?
Alrighty. Panel, what is your favorite Shakespeare sonnet and why?
Where are we starting?
We want to start with you, Lily?
Sure. I love 57 because, oh, damn it, I'm blushing.
I think I know
I
why.
can fix that.
It's a long and involved story.
One word that stuck out was slave.
Indeed. It's such a perfect love letter from, if two people are in a dynamic, right? And one wants to write the other, the ultimate statement of affection. Look at this. It's like, you could do absolutely no wrong in my eyes. It's just so totally abased. It's really, really sweet.
Aww.
Oh,
And I know it makes me a little sadistic to like this, but I'm not. Sorry.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Maybe because I know what it's like to be on both ends of this.
Okay. Yeah, that does make some logical sense. 57 being very intense.
And I have a friend who has the closing couplet as a tattoo.
Oh.
And it's also sort of punny too, because if you think of the last line, so true a fool is love that in your will. We have a lot of puns here. Early modern English. Will is slang for sexual desire. So we're playing on that whole thing again. It all comes full circle.
They got rid of Will.
Will Shakespeare, even if that's a pen name, like a lot of people alleged it was. And then in your will, just whatever you want from me. It's the abasement again. And he's playing off of the same thing that he's writing of in 26, but it's a lot more intense here. It's sort of the shadow side, whereas 26 is like, oh, we're light and happy, you're my lord, and I'm your vassal. Like, look, it's so cheesy.
I
So
love cheese.
chivalrous.
That's usually some notable love poems are meant to be cheesy in the eyes of other people, because if they're not involved, it's usually a natural reaction they're gonna have.
But chivalry as an allegory for DS, I mean, pick something more played out, Shakespeare.
I no idea what the mindset would have been. Very an error.
I am certain.
Which one did you choose, Kelsey?
I'm going to read the first line of mine just to familiarize the viewers with what it is. Let me not to the marriage of true minds. And I chose it because I love the line that's love's not time's fool.
Oh, pretty. Which number is that?
It's this one.
Okay.
Today, 2:18 p.m.
106,
I don't know.
100
Let me try to read that.
116?
Well,
That's 116.
VI is 6, X is 10, so 16. Yeah, 116.
Okay. Okay.
don't know.
Sounds like
I'm a
powerful.
teacher and I can't read this.
Sounds
Don't
like
ask me.
it sounds like a powerful decision, and it contrasts to it shows some form of contrast to Lily. So Charlie, what was which sonnet did you like the best?
Number 8 was my favorite. I'll read it.
Okay, I have it right here.
You have it?
Yeah, I had it as a list of the ones that stuck out.
Music to, I'll read a little bit, just as Kelsey did to familiarize you with it. Music to hear, why hearest thou music sadly? Sweets with sweets not war not, joy delights in joy. Why lovest thou that which thou receivest not gladly, or else receivest with pleasure thine annoy? Now, that's just the first 4 lines, and I probably butchered it, so. I like music. You all know that I'm a music director, and
He's a drummer.
I am. I'm not gonna pull that routine. You were expecting something. But it's.
But are those sticks in your pocket?
No, they're right over here.
That joke died.
But I have to attest to what you're saying. You were saying about the music,
Yeah.
music
And-
level?
Yeah, and it flows nicely, and it also, on the background about it, I have it down here. It's the theme. It's about the youth's failure to marry and have his children. Basically, I guess to continue his family, to have offspring, and I think it's his father who says you're a failure, and then it goes through the line down. If the true concord of well-tuned sounds, which is in music, that'd be a perfect harmony. So by unions married to a thin 9 year, so that would be a bad note. I'm not going to deconstruct the whole thing, but because we'd be here for hours, and I like it, and it talks about family dynamics, basically the ups and downs of family. So, I mean, it's literature. It's not brain surgery, so everyone has their own interpretation. So.
There are people who say it's like the father is reacting to seeing
He's negative
to
about it.
seeing the youth get involved with another man.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You know.
He's like, well, it's your duty to have kids.
And then those kids to have kids, and those kids to have other kids, and so on, so on.
That comes along the lines of the one that I chose. My choice was number 6. And
Do a woman's face with nature's own hand painted.
mine starts with, then not let winter's ragged hand deface, in thee thy summer, or thou be distilled, which, if you've read How to Read Literature Like a Professor, Foster touches up on the fact that spring and summer are seasons of youth, while winter is death and decay. Fall is aging, winter is the ultimate death and decay, but he explores the fact that death is inevitable, so enjoy life and be decadent during life throughout the spring and the summer.
Like decadent chocolate?
Mm-hmm.
In a way, decadent is just life's desires, including those that we very much desire, and that can be very much felt at the other side of the panel. But otherwise,
Hey, watch it.
Yeah, don't encourage her.
going right along,
Don't push my buttons.
I don't have any buttons.
moving right along.
Sure you do.
The
I have several.
the poem ends in the way that to be death's conquest and make worms thine heir is a commentary on the fact that in the end, the individual just ends up as being food for worms.
Yeah.
But the way that you can leave your mark is by producing children, which is in making use of the decadence. Tens by tens, 10 times thyself were happier than thou art. If 10 of thine, 10 times your figure be. You get that, it's this whole, paying it forward. Which it does play a lot onto your poem. The only difference is the lens at which it takes.
Yes. Or approach, you mean?
Yeah, it's a different approach.
Yeah. Lens, here's your fun fact of the day. Lens is not just these. Every day I have to do that, so I'll put my eye out. A lens is another way of saying it's a different approach to, or how you would write about something, how you would read about something. That's your fun fact of the day.
Brought to you by Charlie.
Oh yes, we're so enlightened now, Charles.
I am losing weight, so I am enlightened. Down to pant size, people.
Woo.
That's from my doctor.
Congrats, Charles.
Thank you.
Anybody
We're all
have
very
any
proud
final
of you.
thoughts?
Have a cookie? I mean, yes. No. I like Shakespeare. He's a good man.
Well,
I knew
That's
him
arguable.
well. I knew him well.
a man of infinite jest. I knew this Yorick.
Alas, poor York, I knew him well. Was it I knew ye well?
No, I knew him,
I knew
Horatio,
him.
a man of infinite jest. Where are those lips that so oft I have kissed?
I concur, I think.
Tell me, Horatio, did Alexander look so in the grave? And Caius Caesar dead and turned to clay?
Very wise words from our very own Lily.
Yay!
Well, that's Hamlet.
I was guessing from you had mentioned Horatio, straying on Shakespeare's poems, which reminds me that if you haven't seen our Hamlet episode, definitely check that out. It is episode number 17.
See, I have about 1 billion footnotes I could be saying, but we want to stay on the air for another couple seasons, so...
Okay.
I apologize in advance for being so stammery, but I had to, there was so much I had to talk around.
If you're interested in checking out Shakespeare sonnets, there is a website that I'm going to leave below the video, shakespearesonnets.com, which it's not a scam. It has all 154 of his sonnets, and you can check them
It
out.
even has the narratives to it, as Venus and Adonis and Rape of Lucrece.
Okay. Yeah, you're also going to get commentary on each of the sonnets, and they'll deconstruct it and give you some pointers referring to what he means, as he says.
Well, some things you can kind of figure out for yourself.
Yeah, there was many of that when I was looking at the works. I was,
A woman's face with nature's own hand painted, hast thou the master mistress of my passion. I mean, be more out with it, Shakespeare. Or, but she had pricked thee out for women's pleasure.
Right. Be sure to join us next time for another episode of Literary Gladiators. Until then, keep reading.
And have a great time doing it.